Celebrating 25 years of excellence in broadcasting. This is Joy News Today. My name is Daniel Daze. Coming up, 4 more people die of cerebrospinal meningitis in the Upper West region, bringing total deaths to 37 within the last 3 months.
We needed the medicines and a few other things to support what we have, and I think we are receiving it in good faith. We are going to put it to right use since we've been able to identify where the cases are being managed and where majority of the cases are coming.
Eastern region records 15 more COVID-19 positive cases, bringing count to 16 in that region. Also, traders at Malam markets here in Accra insist they have been given a go-ahead to ply their trade on a park nearby after the market was shut down for defiance of social distancing protocols. In business, tricycle operators taking a hit amid social distancing measures and lockdown to curb spread of coronavirus. Stay with us for details. Now, 15 more persons at the AFCON construction quarters in Bon have tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the Eastern region to 16 as at 1 a.m. today. Eastern Regional Minister Eric Kwache Dafor, speaking earlier on News Desk, confirmed the case count. He said all infected persons so far are Indians.
I can confirm that the analysis we have received so far, being confirmed cases from Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and authenticated by my Director of Health Services in the region, Dr. Mrs. Brichum. Yesterday we had 16 cases confirmed, bringing the total in the Eastern region to 16. So I can confirm this figure for you.
Okay, so the total now is 16. That includes the initial case.
They are all Indians, foreigners.
All of them are foreigners?
Yes, they are Indians. We sent a total of about, I think, 250 or so. And we just received half of it. And the half, we have the 15 proven positive. So when we are able to finish with the contact basis, and mind you, there are 202 Indians in the camp. There are 2 camps for the contractor, the AFCON Limited. They are the company building the Tema to Pakadan railway line. You see, and they have 2 camps, one at Kenya, one at Pong. And it is the Pong camp where we have had the 16 confirmed cases. But they also work with Kenyans who live outside of the camp. But having interacted with them, we believe we should continue with the contact tracing to be sure that all of the workers have been traced and tested together with their families, their friends, you know, the enlarged contact. So we are on it, sir.
On this story, and what you see on your screen is the case count breakdown from the Eastern region as of the 9th of April 2020. That is on Thursday. Now, new suspected cases on Thursday, as you see there, 15 cases. New confirmed cases, 15. No deaths. Cumulative suspected cases then becomes 73. Cumulative confirmed cases are 16. Now, total number of confirmed cases on admission, 0. Total number of confirmed cases in self-isolation treatment are 16. And no discharge cases, no runaways from isolation. 257 contacts listed, 252 of them had been followed up as of yesterday, the 9th of April. Total contacts that had completed the 14-day follow-up and tested are 5, and returnees being observed are 71. Returnees tested are 58. Tested with results received are 29. Now, thankfully, there are no healthcare workers who have been infected in the eastern region. Specimens collected as of the 9th were 15. Specimens submitted to the laboratory as of the 9th were 22. In all, 387 specimens had been collected. And of course, the laboratory had confirmed 16 cases, as we know. Thankfully, again, there is no death among confirmed cases in the eastern region. Now, like I said earlier, this was as of the 9th of April, that is on Thursday, and so we are still waiting on updates on the situation in the eastern region and across the country from officials. Now, President Akufo-Addo has extended the restrictions on movements in Accra and Kumasi by 1 more week for Monday, April 13, 2020. Delivering his 6th address on the progress of the national campaign to defeat the coronavirus pandemic in Ghana, the president said on Thursday that although the efforts have been successful, the country was not yet out of the woods. 2 weeks ago, a 14-day restriction on movements in parts of the Greater Accra region and Kumasi in the Ashanti region was implemented to control the spread of the coronavirus. The lockdown has been implemented in parts of the country where significant numbers of virus infections have been recorded.
It is important that we stay the course and bear with the difficulties that come with it. The final result, hopefully, will be freedom from the virus. So the decision has been taken through the issuance of another executive instrument to extend the restriction on movements in the Greater Accra metropolitan area and Kaswa, and the Greater Kumasi metropolitan area and its contiguous districts by 1 more week, beginning 1 a.m. on Monday the 13th of April, subject to review.
The president also announced 3 months of free electricity for consumers of a particular category to make up for lost income following the lockdown in Accra and Kumasi. President Akufo-Addo says the decision is part of additional measures being taken by government to mitigate the impact of the outbreak of the virus on the public.
Government will fully absorb electricity bills for the poorest of the poor, i.e., for all lifeline consumers. That is free electricity for persons who consume 0 to 50 kilowatt hours a month for this period. In addition, for all other consumers, residential and commercial, government will absorb 50% of your electricity bill for this period, using your March 2020 bill as your benchmark. For example, if your electricity bill was 100 cedis, you will pay only 50 cedis, with government absorbing the remaining 50 cedis. This is being done to support industry, enterprises, and the service sector in these difficult times, and to provide some relief to households for lost income. Nevertheless, I urge all Ghanaians to exercise discipline in their use of water and electricity. The food items being distributed in Accra and Kumasi to the vulnerable and needy are being done through NADMO and the Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, with the assistance of the faith-based organizations, to whom I'm rendering a special word of gratitude. I appeal to you, let us in the meantime continue to comply with the measures. Let us maintain good hygiene and respect the social distancing protocols, even when you're going out to receive the food. But above all, please stay at home.
Now, some markets women who ply their trade at the Malam market here in Accra are insisting they have been given the go-ahead to ply their trade in a park nearby after the market was shut down for defiance of social distancing protocols. My colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson joins us with more details live. Parker, the reports we're getting is that the market is choked.
That's correct, Daniel. Now, the main market itself is under lock and key. I visited there a while ago and I saw for myself that indeed the assembly has locked down the market. But just behind me is a park known as the Dutchess Park near the market. That's where the traders have moved to continue with their trading activities. And Daniel, the main reason why the assembly decided to lock the market was because of social distancing measures. But from what is happening here, if indeed that is what the assembly seeks to achieve, then the purpose has been defeated. Because here at the Dutchess Park, where the market women have assembled to continue their trading activities, there is a proper disregard of social distancing protocols here. A lot of people are congested, extremely crowded here at the market. So if you can see behind me, this is how the market looks like here at the Dutchess Park, where the casual market women have come to continue their trading activities. I would like to get a feel of the market women to speak to understand why they are flagrantly disregarding the social distancing measures as being announced by the president and Akufo-Addo. Social distancing in Tina, your two markets in the move. And I'm saying about I said, just say, and your crowd. You see how they are crowd. And your crowd. Yeah, to be how did they say, sir, oh, my baby, I'm a yada to my bad baby. I'm a yard, but yet you feel sounds like a high. That's in your name, so yet, or boy, a yamapa, and sweet to fear. What I need to, and then so then essentially she's talking about the economic impact of the lockdown and the fact that if she stay at home, there's no way she's going to cater for the children that she has, and that is why she has moved there. Even though she admits that they are not observing the social distancing measures, they have no option than to do what they have to do. But I'm going to ask you about your first and but your friend is what's the social distancing? And yet you are adding here. But social distance, maybe quite a market also not social distancing and yet you too much. I am crying, so I'm going to go to me. I am interview. I am Tuesday, Friday, no, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thank you. So this lady is proposing for a shift system where some of the traders would come on Tuesdays and the other group would come on Friday. But unfortunately, because they heard of the closure of the market, they all decided to throng here or move their things here to come and continue their trading activity. So Daniel, for here here at that spot where the market is, social distancing clearly has been disregarded, and none of the market women, all those who are coming to buy their wares, are observing the social distancing protocol here at the market. So the assembly would have to come in to quickly curtail or avert the situation.
Speaking of the assembly, Parker, have we seen any officials then, any of the market queens, the MCE, the police? Has any leadership been shown at the market? I'm asking if leadership has come up at the market. Yes.
Get an official response from the assembly as to whether they know about this, because the market women are alleging that the assembly asked them to move here without putting in any proper measures. And the reason why they came here was to even curtail the spread of the virus. And if this is what is happening, it means that the purpose has been defeated. So right from here, we will try as much as possible to get a reaction from the assembly as to why they allow the market women to come and trade. And now, finally, some of the market women I spoke to earlier have alleged that there has been some military and police brutality against them this morning when they came to continue their trading activity. We will look at that as well and update our viewers on that.
Thank you very much, Parker Wilson, for bringing us that report from Datus Park, which is where traders from the Malam market have moved to. Let's go to Kumasi, and authorities at the Kumasi Teaching Hospital are appealing for public support to upgrade the hospital's intensive care unit for COVID-19 management. Chief Executive Dr. Oheniba Osudanso says the facility is currently overstretched due to its location as the only facility serving the middle and northern belts. He spoke after receiving a check for 200,000 Ghana cedis and 20 infrared thermometer guns from the Forestry Commission in Kumasi. Ohiming Teria has more.
Kumasi Hospital is one of the case management centers for COVID-19 in the Ashanti region. Though it has space for 25 beds, only 2 intensive care ones are available. This seriously limits the number of critically ill patients in need of ventilator and other life support equipment who can be accommodated. Dr. Osudanso admits the gap in intensive care equipment, which he says has been brought to the Health Ministry's attention.
Our major focus is to do with those who will come in severely and critically ill, for whom we will need to sometimes assist them in their breathing as far as their respiratory effort is concerned. And we identify that that is the area that we must seriously look at in our investment drive. All the cases or the patients who will test positive, we've set up a 25-bed highly infectious isolation unit, which is down there at the polyclinic. And as I speak, for this, we have been able to establish 2 beds as fully for intensive care assistance. And so therefore, we can see the gap that we have. And that is why this donation coming from the Forestry Commission is very timely. Management and the board has committed to use all this, and especially also with the assistance from central government to the ministry. Our list has been submitted, and we are aware, we have been informed that the ministry is also working assiduously to assist, especially in the areas of equipment deficit, just so that we'll be able to upgrade our intensive care positions in the hospital to a very higher level.
According to Dr. Osudanso, Kumasi Hospital's proximity comes with a lot of pressure on the facility.
For the strategic location of Kumasi, currently we have other patients who don't have COVID-19 infection, but who are also here being cared for at our intensive care sites. So therefore, you can see the pressure on our intensive care services because of our central location, caring for the central belt and the northern belt of the country. I must say that even for our basic personal protective materials, for instance, our glove utilization has tripled in the event of the corona pandemic. Sanitizers, we used to use 400 or 500 ml bottle weekly. Now we are doing about 3,000 to 3,200 weekly. And so therefore, I think I want to thank most sincerely the Forestry Commission for their benevolence, for extending this gesture to us. And I assure them, on behalf of the board and management, that we are going to put this into a very judicious use.
The chief of the Zongo communities in the Ashanti region has pledged to support his subjects with food and other relief items until the lockdown is over. It follows government's announcement of the extension of the lockdown Thursday evening. And for a start, about 1,500 families have received food and other relief items from the leadership of the Zongo community in Ashanti region. Prince Apia reports.
This is the mosque in the house of the Zongo chief. It is temporarily now a holding area for food items ready for distribution. The target is the vulnerable in the Zongo communities in the Ashanti region. The Sarkin Zongo, Sultan Umar Farouk, is therefore giving out food and other relief items to 1,500 families. Professor Lukman Mohammed speaks for him.
To stay home means you're not going to go to work. But we forgot that we had people who go to work on their own and come back home and feed their family. If they cannot go to work, their family is not going to be fed. So they cried out to the chief of Zongo. Hence, the distribution of food today. But before that, by and hear his people cry because they are hungry. So he decided to do this distribution this morning. People are going to be fed almost every day. So we're going to do our best. Today, yesterday we gave us some food items. Today we are giving some more food items. If the need comes tomorrow and the next day, we will do all we can to distribute accordingly.
The partial lockdown in these communities has made life very difficult for many, and such a gesture is like manna from heaven. We the poor are happy for these items. We shall manage till new ones come, she says. We thank the Sarki Zongo and we pray this disease leaves us soon, she added. The gesture has, however, received support from some members of the Zongo community in and outside Ghana. He informed us about this exercise, and I'm happy to have supported with a donation. His exemplary leadership must be emulated. Meanwhile, activities for the 10th anniversary of the enslavement of the Sultan Farouk have been put on hold due to the coronavirus threat. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, 4 more persons have died as a result of the cerebrospinal meningitis outbreak in the Upper West region, bringing the number of deaths to 37. The number of confirmed cases have also risen from 214 to 247. The hardest hit districts are Nandom and Nadoli Kalio, where they both recorded 22 deaths and 150 cases. A former member of the Council of State, Sir Dr. Jada, at an event to donate PPEs and vaccines on behalf of former President Mahama, called on governments to adopt pragmatic solutions to the perennial deaths recorded every year through CSM. Upper West Region's correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
A former member of the Council of State and renowned surgeon, Sir Dr. Edward Jedari, accompanied by some parliamentary candidates, regional and constituency executives of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, presented personal protective equipment and vaccines on behalf of former President John Dramani Mahama.
And not only Upper West region, but the whole of the world is facing a serious problem with the coronavirus infection. It's very devastating. We are perhaps a little bit at peace with our conscience and minds that we may not be affected as hard as how some people have been hit. But it is important that we get prepared ourselves and behave in a manner that we don't get to reach the levels that some people have already reached. So we are happy that our president, former president, leader of the NDC, is fully conscious that the Ministry of Health, the workers, the nurses, the doctors, they are the front-line soldiers in this battle. And that is why we are bringing these things to you here.
Said Dr. Edward Jedder noted that the region is having a dual battle in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic and the dreaded cerebrospinal meningitis, CSM. The much dreaded CSM has claimed as many as 33 lives, way more than the 6 deaths recorded in the Ghana's COVID-19 pandemic. The Upper West region is lying on the CSM belt, and it is ritual that persons' lives are lost as a result of the disease every year. Said Dr. Edward Jedder suggested to the government to put in pragmatic strategies to find an antidote to prevent the loss of lives every year.
If you lose one subject, one Ghanaian, for any reason, it is serious. So the government, and through the regional director, the message we want to leave is that they should remember that we are within the endemic zone of the CSM in Africa, and this area is hit together with other countries. So I would suggest the director will help us. There must be some preparation towards the CSM to try to block its resurgence every year at this particular time.
The items donated include 50 overall gowns, 50 gum boots, surgical gloves, face masks, and 1,000 pieces of ceftriaxone, which is a vaccine for CSM. The items are valued at 50,000 Ghana cedis. Upper West Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Osei thanked the NDC for the kind gesture.
As the fight against COVID is not only for government, but it's all of us, our fight. And if we work together to make sure that our one case we have recorded in a region does not escalate into many cases. For meningitis, yes, it's very good. We needed the medicines and a few other things to support what we have. And I think we are receiving it in good faith. We are going to put it to right use.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam.
You're still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Daze. Now, this is for all you men and women who have dedicated your lives to this fight against COVID-19. Today, we from Joy News salute you.
Time now for some business news. Hello everyone, my name is Daryl Kwao. Tricycle operators in Kumasi say government's directive compelling them to carry 1 instead of 3 passengers is taking a toll on their business. Government has had to enforce social distancing measures in a lockdown in some parts of the country to curb the spread of coronavirus. The tricycle operators are calling for support. Here's Prince Appear's report.
Here is the Tricycle or Pragya station at Abuabo. Until recently, a buzzing setup. The rickshaws have become the most preferred means of transportation for traders and other residents of Asokoremampo municipality. It is the source of livelihood for most of the youth in this area. Saeed Alaji Subaru is one of the operators.
I was unemployed when I completed my school, so in order not to sit idle, I decided to drive this to support myself and to support my family. When market is good, sometimes you can make 120 cedis in total a day. Use some to buy your fuel and then use some to pay for the machine and then use some for your upkeep.
We spoke with Subaru before the partial lockdown of Accra, Kumasi, Kaswa, and Tema came into effect. Today, the station is dead. Said and his colleagues are frustrated.
We have wife and children. We are working this week and solve our problem. Now they have weak us to stop working. Even this morning, I just wake up. The policeman has driven us away and just come and park the vehicle. Now, you know, Ghana is hard. The work is arm to mouth. If you didn't go to work, how can you give your wife plus your children money to eat? Now they are breakers. You go to see our people are sitting down. No, we don't know how to do it.
So more than 20 of these tricycles, popularly known as Pragia or Adedita, are seated here, idle, because they cannot work. It is because authorities have asked them not to operate. If they can, then only the driver and no passengers at the back. And that has not sat well with them.
As Karimampo Municipal Chief Executive Ali Duseidu emphasizes, government's directive on passenger capacity of vehicles, especially the rickshaws, is to ensure social distancing.
Because it's considered as a motorbike. Now, once you cannot carry anybody apart from you, the rider, in natural sense, it means that they cannot also work. That is what it means. That there is a demand of the situation that now Pragia cannot work again. So that is where we are now.
And that was Prince Appiah's report. Now, the Public Interest and Accountability Committee is worried that the Ghana National Gas Company has not been prompt in paying for natural gas supplied by the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC. According to the committee, the situation has denied the GNPC access to funds that could have been used for critical projects and operations. Speaking with Joy Business, Chairman of PIAC, Noble Waja, said even though the matter has been raised in its semi-annual report for 2019, the committee is making efforts to get the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament to deal with the matter.
Ghana Gas receives volumes of gas from GNPC, and that's whatever it wants to do, will not pay for it. And that is stifling the arithmetic around the petroleum revenue, because when you don't do this, GNPC doesn't pay the money or load the money into the petroleum holding fund, for which reason PIAC is not also able to do a proper assessment of what accrues to the country. And also,
the relevant authorities like the ministry?
In the first place, we have raised it with the sector agency that is in this business. Okay. That's like Ghana Gas. We have raised it. You know, our report goes to the presidency, goes to Parliament, and it's shared among the public and media, including you. So definitely we have done that. Now Parliament sits on our report, and Parliament, I'm sure, which has been the case in the past, will act on our report by calling on all these agencies that we have, in quote, indicted for a meeting and discuss the situations around these behaviors. So we are clearly, as an accountability committee to the resource, we are not happy with receiving a resource, using it and not paying for.
And that's it for business. Sports is up next.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment with me, Oreko Ampofu. We do start off with some Ghana Premier League transfer news as Mediama Sporting Club are on the verge of signing former Asante Kotoko striker Sonny Yakuba. Now the Moves and Yellows have reportedly agreed personal terms with the Burkina Faso forward and are expected to complete a deal in the coming days. Joy Sports' Asari Rediako has more on this report.
The 28-year-old refused to extend his contract with Asante Kotoko after the club failed to meet his financial demands. Yakuba officially parted ways with the Kumasi-based club this month after a 2-year stint. Kotoko signed the striker in 2018 and was the toast of fans. However, the Porcupine Warriors failed to tie down the Burkinabe forward. Yakuba's agent was demanding $150,000, a transfer fee Asante Kotoko were not willing to pay. But Mediama SC are eager to meet the financial demands of Sonny Yakuba and are expected to seal the deal in the coming days.
We'll be providing you updates as to when that deal gets completed, as well as other deals in the Ghana Premier League. But let's move to the English Premier League, where clubs will receive millions of pounds in advance payments related to league positioning and television fees in an effort to ease their cash flow problems. There's also more on this report. That wraps it up for the sports here. We do have more sports stories for you at 2 p.m. on Sports Today. But till then, you can get the latest sports stories on myjoyonline/sports. My name is Oreku Wampofu, and remember to stay home and stay safe.
Happy Easter, guys. My name is Kadi, and this is Showbiz. Now to our very first story. The call by entertainers for government support during this pandemic has finally been answered as Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Madam Barbara Otinjesi, on Thursday started an exercise to support AIDS musicians, actors and actresses during the lockdown. Here is the report.
Tourism Barbara Otinjesi and members of the Creative Arts Council Music and FIPAC on Thursday assisted some veteran musicians and actors with food items and other reliefs as part of efforts to cushion their lives during the lockdown. The minister explained the artists played a massive role in their era to entertain the populace, thus the gesture to show appreciation for their works.
I know that a lot of people in our industry have been affected, but the resources to support everybody is also not available. So the little that we have, we are using it to support the aged in the industry because they for some years have not been working. So this support is going to them.
Members visited on Thursday includes the first leader of singing group Wolome, actress Grace Naughty, and Grace Omabo, popularly known as Mami Dokno. The team also visited veteran actor and retired footballer Emmanuel Ama. Madam Barbara Otinjesi revealed her ministry is planning to also assist young and active musicians and actors in the industry during the lockdown.
There is a proper stimulus package which will be made available for the players in the industry to support their work. As I indicated, we have a tourism development project under the World Bank facility of about 40 million. It has various components, but we are discussing with the World Bank to let us take some parts of the resources to make some facilities, some loans or grants available to the industry players who have been impacted very significantly by this pandemic. So that is one aspect of support that we are looking at.
She also hinted plans are far advanced to establish an insurance policy for persons in the creative industry.
We initiated this project last year with one or two insurance companies to come up with a policy for the industry, and we are still discussing the terms of the policy, but I think that it will not only benefit those who are aged, but as an insurance policy we will look at the various events under which if you find yourself, the policy will kick in and you get some support.
Now, following a Twitter comment on possible abuse of his daughter, Ghanaian rapper and founder of Hip Life, Reggie Rockstone, says he has reported the case of the man who tweeted to sleep with his 6-year-old daughter to the police. In an interview with Joy Prime's Ibrahim Bembako on Prime Morning, Reggie disclosed people have sent him more information about the young man and he will be picked up by the police soon.
I reported to police. Okay. I'm a Siciano. In fact, manyano who information P is a Ghana there. So everyone is in my DM giving me information. I have a profile. I have a profile about him now, and everything that what he's about. Inti Enchibiano, they're gonna pick him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inti just say Siana or Chino and Yadia Ujemu.
Debbie, I think we need to set an example. Untimi kasasa na how so bakase you want to gang rape a 6-year-old girl, you know, my daughter. I don't care if you're a SM fan, I don't care if you're a standing fan, I don't care who you are. You don't talk to grandpapa like that. You don't talk about a small girl. And I was here because I'm born investigation now. If you are idea why you be that, because a Burma, a young man like you, how do you put those kind of thoughts into your mind? You know, Bruni Beka, it is from your thoughts come words, and from words come action.
Actions.
You know, I was here for ye. Now, the example, send a bay, I said, Jimmy, you know, a big you know, I mean, I've been in show business for over 3 decades. I'm off with me, but, you know, they call them trolls. I'm with me, but social media, but can you, but we know, somehow kind, I know a shit. You know, I know a shit. And, you know, me as a father, I had to make sure. And, you know, me bunny just, I know. See, I'm out for now. I'm say, oh, yeah, relax. No, and I'm mentor, I say, do you have a kid? Do you have a daughter? Are you, you know, oh, ma, now, Bema Biaba Kassa or Pese or gang rapey, your 6-year-old daughter, must say, yes, auntie, relax. And what better?
Not me, patrol, now, or wifey, so, or some of your fans saying.
Yeah, so that was Reggie Rockstone in an interview with Ibrahim Bembako on Bijim on Adom TV. Now to some international stories. Pop star Pink has told Showbiz host Ellen DeGeneres that her experience with coronavirus was the scariest thing she had ever been through. The American pop star opened up about the frightening experience she and son, who was 3, had after they contracted the virus. She told Ellen via video chat on an at-home edition of her talk show that aired Thursday that they are both doing all right and it's a better week than the last. Yeah, so that was Pink with talk show host Ellen DeGeneres, and that's all we have for Showbiz for this afternoon.
Very, very moving story there. Yeah.
I'm glad they're okay.
I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we all need to stay safe, stay at home, please, so we can all stay alive. We can beat COVID if only you stay home. That's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. My name is Daniel Dazi, Caribou the Showbiz. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Daryl is back with the marketplace. Up next, we will be back on Monday for the Easter Monday edition of the show. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Easter.